And then, so you're gonna need a chair. Those of you, Kathy, you have a chair, right? You've got like.
Yeah, I have a chair. Yep,
yeah.
yep.
Okay, so at some point we're gonna use the chair and then the strap and any other prop you guys like to, just to utilize for comfort. So sometimes a pillow is nice. I have a couple bolsters. The fun thing about this is that I've been digging through my closet, you know, and finding props that I forgot I had. They're like 30 years old, but it's all good. Okay, I'm gonna start because it's like 3 minutes after. We're gonna start in mini Shavasana. So come lying flat on your mat, on your back, and feel free to pop in when you're ready. Just this camera a little bit. So just lie back. I'm going to talk you through it. So I'm not going to actually be lying down at the moment, but you guys should be. So come lying flat on your back mat, on your back, in a little mini Shavasana. You're going to take a deep inhale through your nose and then side out your mouth. Couple breaths like that. Inhale through the nose and let it go out your mouth. I'm going to go ahead and mute you all because that's, I guess, the thing to do. All muted. Yes. Okay. And then last time, inhale through the nose and let it go out your mouth. And then go ahead and bring your knees into your chest and give it a tug. Bring your nose up to your knees. And then bring your knees wide out to the side and give them a tug. And circle the ankles one way. And circle them the other way. And then draw the right knee into the chest as you extend the left leg out to the floor. And if it feels better on your back, you can keep the left knee bent with the sole of the left foot in on the floor. And let's circle the ankle one way. And then circle it the other way. And then go ahead and circle the knee and the hip joint one way. And then the other way. And then straighten the right leg, grabbing a hold of the back of the thigh, and go ahead and point and flex the foot. So we're slowly warming up the bones and the ligaments and the tendons in our body before we generate a little more heat. And then go ahead and circle one way, and then circle the other way. And then just take a couple breaths with the legs straight up towards the ceiling. So nothing you really need to do, no effort required. And let's find a twist. So the right arm's gonna come out to the side, and then the right leg's gonna come over to the left. And then just take a couple breaths here. Coming back onto your back, drawing the knee back into the chest, give it a little tug, and let's switch sides. So extend the right leg back out to the floor or have the leg bent, either one, and then bend the left knee and bring it into the chest and circle the ankle one way, and then the other way. And then go ahead and circle the knee and the hip joint one way, and then the other way. And then straighten the leg and just point and flex the toe. And then circle the ankles, kind of warming up the bones slowly. And then just staying there with the legs straight up for just a few breaths. And let's take it into a twist now. So you're gonna drop the leg to the right, reach the left arm back. And breathing into the back body, the rib cage, deep into the lungs. Coming back to center, drawing the knees back into the chest, both knees into the chest now. Let's find a little happy baby. And if you like to rock from side to side, feel free to do that. If you want to stay still, be still. Don't right or wrong way to do any of these poses. And if you want to take a couple breaths with the legs wide out to the side, you can bring your hands to your inner thighs, your calves. And then draw the knees back into the chest and begin to roll forward and back into a little ball. So just kind of rolling forward and back. And if you have lower back issues, don't do this. Just kind of stand your back. But if you don't, just roll back and forth. And then roll up to a seated position. And find a comfortable cross-legged position. And then let's take a couple deep breaths. So bring the arms up towards the ceiling on an inhale. And on an exhale, just lower them back down. Deep belly breaths. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, lower the arms down. 2 more like that. Feel free to close your eyes, just kind of coordinating breath to movement, quieting the mind. Try to slow down the breath. Try to slow down the movement. Last breath, inhale it up. And exhale it down. Walk the right fingers on over to the right. And then anchor that left sitting bone back down. And when you feel like both side bodies lengthening, reach the left arm up and over. You're going to gaze through the armpit and then look down to the right arm. So we're just warming up the head and the neck. Gaze through the left armpit and then look down to the right arm. One more time with movement. Beautiful. And if you can drop down to the elbow without lifting the hip up, feel free to take a couple deep breaths like that, just getting a little deeper into the side body and the hips. And then come up and switch sides. Left fingers kind of crawl on over. Right arm reaches up and across. And anchoring that right hip bone back down towards the mat. And then we do the head and neck roll. So you're going to look down towards the left arm and underneath the right armpit. Just kind of warming up the head and the neck. One more time with movement. And then dropping down to the elbow. If you can do so without the right hip migrating. So my left side's a little tighter, and that's fine. I'm not going to drop down the elbow on this side because if I do so, that hip kind of migrates off the floor. So I want to keep both sitting bones anchored. Oh, it feels good. And then come back up to the center. And then clasp your hands together behind your neck. And we're going to reach the elbows wide. So a little bit of a back bend on an inhale. On an exhale, curl and draw the elbows together. Inhale as you arch. Exhale as you curl. A couple more times like this, just kind of opening up the chest and the heart. And now come to back to where the elbows are kind of 45. So you're going to internally wrap the upper torso and then begin to twist to the right and see if your torso's twisting or if your head and neck are cranking more than the torso. So keep it back into the torso and then extend the arms wide out to the side like a T. Keep reaching and then just lower the right arm down and take the left arm across the knee. And so we just twist and open up the rib cage and the back of the heart. Deep belly breaths. Try not to over crank the neck, so let the movement come from the rib cage and the spine as opposed to the head and neck. One more breath here. It's so nice. Come back to center and clasp the hands together again behind the neck. And then we twist to the opposite side. Twist, 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 twist. Oh, and then extend the arms wide out to the side, twisting a little deeper, reaching more to the left arm than the right. And then lower that left arm back and the right arm across. And we take it into a torso twist. So try not to over crank the head and the neck. Making sure the movement comes from the rib cage. Take a deep breath in And then on your exhale, twist a little deeper. 2 more breaths in the twist. Last twist. And then come back to center. And then draw the arms up on an inhale. And then exhale, straight down the center you go. Let the head and neck go, surround the spine. Don't be goal-oriented. Don't worry if your forehead doesn't come to the ground, like mine doesn't. And let the head and neck be heavy. And then go ahead and bend the elbows and see if that gets you a little deeper into the pose. So nice. One more breath here. And then coming back, crawling yourself up. And let's come to hands, knees. Let's do a little cat and a little cow. So separate your wrists, your palms shoulder distance, and your knees hip distance. And on an inhale, you're going to arch up, look up. On an exhale, you're going to curl. Gazing towards your navel. Inhale, arch up, look up. Exhaling, curl. A couple more times using the rhythm of your breath to initiate the movement. Inhaling up. Exhale to curl. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, linear. Exhale. Now then just circle the hips around and down and around and down. Maybe the head and neck also circles. Feel free to close your eyes and breathe into the movement. No right or wrong way to move here, just warming up now the hips and the rib cage. One more circle, and then coming back to center, pause for just a moment, and then let's circle the opposite direction. So round and down and round. Head and neck circle, everything's just warming up gradually. And then come back to center and lower your hips back towards your heels. Let's find a child's pose for a couple breaths. Deep, slow, rhythmic breathing. And in your child's pose, so forehead still on the mat, you're going to draw your knees together. So you're going to be forced to breathe out of the back of your body, your rib cage, and then you're going to crawl your fingers wide out to the side like a T, and then spread the fingers and press the palms down. Let the elbows and the shoulder heads be heavy. Breathe into the back body. So Maureen, this pose is good for anxiety. And then go ahead and clasp the hands together behind the back and draw the arms up and over. Oh. Open up the shoulders, the back of the body. And then drop the palm, so you're going to tilt, drop the right shoulder down and drop both palms and arms to the right, really reaching into the left front of the body, and then come to the other side. And back to the center, and release the arms, and walk the fingers back out in front of you. And lift your hips and come back onto hands and knees. You're going to extend the right arm out in front of you, the right thumb pointing straight up towards the ceiling. Feel free to stop at any point along the way. If you're adding on, you're going to extend the left leg behind you. So this is full body integration. You're going to press the left palm down as you reach and extend the right fingers out in front of you and push through the back heel. So this is long spine. And then release, and let's switch sides. Left palm's gonna reach. Ground yourself to get steady, and then when you're ready, extend the right leg behind you, flexing the foot, pushing it, waking up the leg by pushing it into an imaginary wall and extending through the left fingers as you press down through the right palm. Reach and extend, and then let that go. And now we're gonna move it into more dynamic movement. So on an inhale, the right arm extends and the left leg reaches. On an exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. 2 more like this. Beautiful. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. 1 more. Last one this side. Inhale. Exhale. Let that go. We switch sides. We move right into it. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, curl. Inhale to reach. Exhale to curl. 3 more. Inhale. Breathe deep. Exhale. 2 more like this. Inhaling. Exhaling. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Come back to hands and knees. As you tuck your toes underneath you, you're going to lift your hips up and back and find your way into downward facing dog. As you pedal out your feet, bend one knee, sink the opposite heel. Switch sides. Switch, switch. And then come high on your tippy toes as you bend your knees, lift your hips, lengthen out of the spine, no right or wrong way to do it. And then lower your heels back down to the mat. And then walk your hands back to meet your feet. Go slow. And cup your fingertips and kind of rock your body forward and back, until you feel like you've lined your hips directly up over your heels. And then cup your fingers and walk them back out and get a really nice long spine, juicy spine. Then walk your hands back to your heels. Put a generous bend in your knees. Grab a hold of your elbows and let your torso hang. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. And then rock your torso side to side. Let your head and neck be heavy. No right or wrong way to move. Just get some motion in the torso. Sweep from side to side. So nice. Then let the arms go. Take a couple breaths just hanging here. And then go ahead and reach your arms up overhead and clasp your hands together and reach the arms over. Feel free to stay with bent knees, working deeper into the shoulders and the upper spine, or feel free to work with straight legs, working more into the lower back. And then release the arms and slowly walk your hands back up your mat, finding your way back into downward facing dog as you pedal out the feet when you arrive. No right or wrong way, just beginning to warm up the bones in the feet. Getting ready for a little movement, meditation. Inhale the right leg up and back. Exhale, step it between your hands as you lower the back knee down. Lift the torso, come up. And then sweep the left arm down and reach the right arm overhead. Let me readjust the camera a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. Left arm down, right arm overhead, reach, 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 reach. Oh, nice. And then both arms up, switch sides. Right arm down, left arm reaches. Just warming up all sides of the body. And then come back to center and straighten the front leg for a nice hamstring stretch, flexing the right foot. And then go ahead and re-bend the right knee. Plant the palms, tuck the back toes under, lift the left thigh up. Let's take a twist. So you're gonna plant the left palm and reach the right arm up. And then circle the right wrist one way. And circle it the other way. And then release the arm and step the right foot back to meet the left. Finding your way back into downward dog. Pedaling out the feet. Inhaling the left leg up and back. Exhale, step it between your hands. Drop the back knee down. And we repeat that on the other side. Inhale to rise. On an exhale, lower the left arm down. Reach the right arm overhead. And then switch sides. And then straighten the front leg. And then go ahead and re-bend the knee. Plant the palms. Tuck the back toes under to lift the right thigh up off the floor. So now you're in a lunge. And then we're gonna take it into a twist. So the left arm is gonna come up. And you're gonna circle the left wrist one way and maybe circle the head and neck one way, and then circle it the other way. And then release the palm back to the floor as you step the left foot back to meet the right, finding your way back to dog, pedaling out the feet. And then gazing at your fingers, step or hop your feet to meet your hands and arch. And exhale to bow. Inhale, reaching the arms overhead as you come up to standing. And exhale, bringing the hands to the heart center. We're gonna do a couple sun salutations, right? So Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, forward fold, down you go. Inhale, arch up, long spine. Exhale, step the feet back, top of the push-up position. From here, you're gonna lower down to your knees. You're gonna go elbows, chest, and chin, and then lower the hips and come into a baby cobra, and then exhale it down. Couple baby cobras to start. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale down. 2 more baby cobras. Exhale down. Last baby cobra. Exhale down. Tuck the toes. Lift yourself up off the floor to push-up position, plank, and then exhale back to downward dog. 3 breaths in downward dog, finding stillness, calming the mind. Breathing into a focal point somewhere between your toes to steady your gaze. At the end of your exhalation, gazing up towards your fingers, step or hop your feet to meet your hands and arch. Exhale, bow. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, right to the heart center. Pause for a moment, close your eyes. This camera business, it's either I get the top of my body or the lower part. Zooming is fun. Close your eyes and let's roll our shoulders forward, around, and pin them down. And again, forward, around, and pin them down. One more time like that. So nice. Feels so good. Forward, around and pinning them down. And then we move right into the sun salutation. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, down you go. Long spine on the inhale. Step it back on your exhale. Top of the push-up, pause, breathe in. Exhale to lower. This is where you get to choose wherever you're going, either baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths, breathing into that focal point somewhere between your toes. Moving meditation. One more breath. Gaze towards your fingers. Step or hop your feet to meet your hands as you arch. Exhale, let it go. Inhale to rise all the way up to standing. Arms reach overhead. Exhale, pull it right back to the heart center. One more time, moving right into it. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, arch up, look up. Exhale, step the feet back, top of the push-up position. Pause to breathe in. Lower to breathe out. Inhale, up. Exhale it back. 3 breaths in downward facing dog. This is where we practice the mindfulness. We breathe into just do the focal point. We breathe out to the focal point. 2 more deep belly breaths. One more. Gaze at your fingers as you step or jump your feet to meet your hands and arch up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, rising as you reaching your arms overhead. And then exhale, draw it right into the heart center. One more time, building heat. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, down you go. Inhale, arch. Exhale, step it back as you pause at the top of the push-up to inhale, lowering down as you exhale. Inhale, up, exhale, back. 3 deep, long breaths. Looking up at your fingers, step or hop your feet to meet your hands and arch up. Exhale to bow. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing. Exhale, pulling it right into your heart. Beautiful. Adding on, inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, forward fold, down you go. Long spine on the inhale, stepping it back on your exhale. Nice. You're gonna come down to your knees. And then you're gonna lower your chest. So we're gonna do puppy dog. So you're gonna walk your fingers out towards the front of your mat and then just kind of lower the chest. Keep the hips directly over the knees and see if you can get your chest, your heart, you're gonna melt your heart through the gates of your arms. Keep your arms active, so don't let the elbows collapse here. This is about a back bend, working the torso and the back of the heart down to the floor. One more breath. And then gently coming back to hands and knees. tucking your toes, and then lifting the hips back to downward dog. You're gonna inhale the right leg way up and back, and then bend the knee and open the hip and circle the right ankle one way, maybe circle the head and neck one way, circle the ankle the other way, circle the knee and the hip joint one way, and then circles it the opposite way. And then extend the leg and just get long. Reach and push and open up the body. And then lower the leg as you drop down to your knees and come into child's pose. Find your way back to downward facing dog, and we do the other side, opening up the hips. On an inhale, reaching the left leg up and back, bend the knee as you open up the hip, and then circle the ankle one direction, and then circle it the other direction. Circle the knee and the hip joint one way, no right or wrong way to move. Just kind of opening up the body and then circle it the other way. Straighten the left leg, reach and push, get super long. And then lower the leg as you drop down to your knees, coming back into child's pose. And then crawl your torso up, tuck your toes, coming back into the downward facing dog, beautiful. Line your pinky toes up with the outer edges of your mat, so you're in a wide downward facing dog, and walk your hands a little bit in towards your feet, and then cup your fingers. So you're gonna come onto the tips of the fingers, and then press your hips back and find this modified version of downward dog with a long spine. And then keep walking your hands a little bit closer towards your feet and plant the left palm in the center. You can stay on your fingertips if that's easier for you. And then reach the right arm to the left shin, the thigh, the calf, the heel, and then twist. So gaze underneath the left armpit. You're gonna rotate the rib cage to the left, twisting. Let your head and neck go. Come back to center. Let's try the other side. Right hand's gonna come to the center. You can cup your fingers. Left hand's gonna reach for the thigh, the calf, the shin, the heel, whatever's easiest for you, right? And then you begin to rotate the torso to the right. Twist. And then come back to center. We're gonna go just a little bit deeper, right? So the left palm to the center, right hand to the left leg, right? And then reach the left arm up. So you can take this in stages. You can stay here if that feels good, or you can wrap the left arm behind the back and weave it into the top of the right hip, and then twist a little deeper. Oh. 2 breaths. And then come back to center. Left palm to the center of the mat. Right? Right palm to the center. Left hand's gonna reach for the right shin or calf or thigh. And then reach the right arm up. So now we twist a little deeper. Take a breath. here, feel free to stay here, or if you like, you can weave the right hand behind the back and into the top of the left hip, and then twist a little deeper here. 2 breaths. Last breath. Release that. Heel toe to feet, hip distance. Clasp your hands together behind your head. Right? Nice, generous bend in the knees. And then just let the torso hang. Use the weight of the hands to pull the head and neck in towards the knees, stretching the back of the neck. And release the hands. Walk the hands, kind of tiptoe the hands back to the front of the mat. Go slow. Finding your way back to downward dog as you pedal out the feet. Oh, so good. Step the left foot between the hands, coming into a deep lunge. And then we're just gonna lift the torso and the sternum bone and press the right heel back behind you. So we're looking for maximum length in the spine. Draw the navel in to support the lower back. Take a breath here. And then bring the left foot back to meet the right, back to downward dog, pedal, pedal, pedal. And then reach the right leg up and back and step the right leg between the hands, finding the lunge on the opposite side, right? And then you're gonna lift through the sternum bone and then press the back heel behind you. So you're going for length here. Take a couple breaths. One more breath. And then plant the palms, step the right foot back to meet the left, back to dog, pedal, pedal, pedal. And then walk your hands back to meet your feet. And walk your hands up your shins, so round spine, up the thighs, and all the way up to standing. Nice work. Grab a chair. Let's have a little fun. Grab the chair and place it towards the front of your mat. So we're just gonna do familiar poses in a slightly different way to get access different parts of our body. So we're gonna start with downward dog on the chair, right? So you're gonna walk your feet out to the back of your mat. You're gonna place your palms on the top of the seat of the chair, and then you're gonna let your head and neck go. Couple breaths like this. And then walk yourself up. Finding warrior one. So the left foot's gonna be back at an angle and the right toes are gonna be forward. And you're gonna bend your knees so deep that the knee makes contact with the chair, with the lip of the chair, right? And so it's not really gonna move at all, but you're gonna have the contact of the lip of the chair against the knee, right? And then you're gonna place the right hand on the seat of the chair and the left hand on your hip. And you're gonna rotate that left shoulder in and then sweep it back behind you. Let's do that one more time. So you're gonna rotate it in, that's like a closed shoulder girdle, and then you're gonna rotate it out behind you. Beautiful. Now reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. Press down through the right palm, press the right knee into the lip of the chair, and then reach the left arm overhead at an angle. And breathe here. You can you can rotate your head and neck if that feels good. You can gaze underneath your left armpit to get a slightly deeper rotation in the torso. One more breath. And then press up to come up, straighten the right leg. Right arm's gonna reach towards the top of your chair. Left hand on your hip. You're going to do that same thing where you internally rotate the shoulder and then externally rotate. So now you've got support, right? You've got something to hold on to find maximum length on the underside of the right side body. Most of the time I find in triangle pose with students, they end up collapsing through the rib cage. So this kind of teaches you how to open up both sides of the understory of the rib cage. Beautiful. Now take the right hand to the base of the chair, the seat of the chair, and reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. And notice how you have maximum extension on both sides of the rib cage, right? So you're not necessarily collapsing up here. You're lengthening through the left side of the rib cage. So nice. Stay here if this is the perfect length for you, or drop the right hand to the shin and then extend further. Beautiful. And then one more breath here. Rebend the right knee, right hand onto the chair, left arm behind you, and then straighten the leg. And now let's switch it to the other side. So bring your chair to the other side. And we start with warrior one on the left side now. So the right toes are going to be turned in at an angle, 45 degrees. And the left toes are going to be pointing straight ahead. And we're going to start by the left palm, yeah, right. And then right arm's going to reach up. And then right arm overhead at an angle. So the chair helps you access the pose. It helps keep the torso lengthening on both sides rather than collapsing or rounding. And you can kind of play with the shape of both and see how that feels in your body with the support of the chair to lean onto. One more breath. Nice work. And then straighten the leg. And then reach the left hand to the top. So you might actually need to pull the chair in a little bit, right? So your left leg straight. Right hand on the right hip. Let's do that same shoulder rotation we did on the other side. So you're going to roll the shoulder in, and then you're going to roll the shoulder out. And notice how you leaning back. This forces you to lean back. The left hand on the top of the chair teaches you to find maximum length on the underside of the body, and then reach the right arm up, lower the left hand to the seat of the chair. And now you see how my whole body there's a straight line from the crown of my head to my shoulder, to my hip, to my heel, right? It's not like this, or it's not like this. If there's a straight line, and then reach the right arm up. This is triangle pose. Feel free to stay here if this is working for you, or lower the left hand to the shin and find the full extension of the pose. Oh, so nice. One more breath. Rebend the left knee. So we forgot this part where the left knee is just pushing into the seat of the chair, and the right hand's on the right hip, and you just kind of roll the shoulder forward and back and forward and back. So nice. And then come all the way up to standing. Now you're going to take the chair, and you're going to bring the chair in front of you, and you're actually going to step. Let's see if I can do this so you can see me. You're going to step. Let's start with the right foot over the chair, so you're almost like seated on the chair, right? So this is warrior one, warrior two, basically. And you're going to use the chair as a means to prop yourself up to find the right position, right? And then extend the arms and gaze slightly over the right fingers. So the chair is just there as a guide to kind of help you keep your torso straight up and down. And then bring the arms up overhead. And then the arms back down. And the arms to your hips. And let's switch sides. So the left foot's gonna rotate to the left. And the right toes are gonna come in a little bit at an angle. And then you're gonna sit back. You're gonna bend down to a 90-degree. And the chair, so the lip of the chair is basically just touching my right inner thigh and my left inner thigh. So now I know that my torso is straight up and down, right? And then you're gonna extend the arms straight out to the side and gaze towards your left fingers. And take a couple breaths here, widening through the chest and the collarbones, softening through the shoulders, breathing into the side body. And then turn the palms up and reach the arms up overhead, just shoulder distance. And then bend a little deeper, right? But upright the torso. So don't lean forward and don't lean back, but just notice if you're lifting evenly out of both sides of the waistline. One more breath. And then lower the arms. Beautiful. And then come out of the chair. You're gonna actually sit on the chair and have the back of the chair be behind you. Right, so you're gonna sit on the chair, tall spine, and then you're gonna bring the right arm up. Left arm's on the chair and the right arm up, right? And now we're gonna twist. So the right arm's gonna come towards the chair and the left arm's gonna come towards the seat of the chair. Right? And you're going to keep the torso straight up and down and then twist here. 2 breaths. Last breath. Come back up and extend the arms up overhead. And then release, and let's flip it around to the other side. Right arm's gonna reach for the top of the chair behind you. Left arm's just gonna reach straight up. And take a moment to get long in the side body, right? Then the left arm's gonna reach for the top of the chair, and the right arm's gonna reach for the seat of the chair. And so now you've got support to help you twist a little deeper. Keep both feet planted on the ground if you can, and then twist. One more breath. Nice. Come back to center. Sit on the chair and then just fold forward. Let the head and neck be heavy. Let it go. Just fold. Nice. And then come up and then place your chair off to the side. Fun with chair. And let's do a couple more deep stretching. Inhale, arms reach, look up. On an exhale, forward fold, down you go. Hands are gonna come to your shins. On an inhale, long spine, long arch. Exhale, let it go. 2 more times, inhale, arch up, look up. Exhale, release. Last time, inhale, arch up, look up. Exhale, release. Plant the palms, step the feet back, come into a push-up position. Drop down to your knees. Drop down to your chin. And let your torso and hips go, coming onto the floor. You're gonna place one palm on top of the other palm and let your head and neck go. You readjust the angle of the camera so you can all see what we're doing next. We're gonna do a little back therapy 101 now, right? So this is yoga therapy for the lower back. Coming into cobra position, Plant your palms underneath your shoulders. Untuck your toes. You're going to kind of shake your feet a little bit. And then let that go. And then roll the shoulders forward, up, and plant them down as you lift the torso. Draw the navel in, gaze slightly forward, coming into a baby cobra. Couple breaths, and then let that go. And again, shoulders circle forward, around, and pin down as you press the palms down to lift the torso to come up. This time, you're going to release the palms. So the hands are going to hover, right? You're going to sweep the elbows out towards the front and then tuck them in like little wings. Sweep the elbows out and then sweep them in. Last time, elbows out, elbows in, plant the palms, lower down. Beautiful. One more hovering cobra. Inhale, come up. This time you're going to lift the legs off the floor just a couple inches. It's not about height, it's about length. And then lift the palms. Right? Keep the head and neck in line with the spine, so don't crank the head up, but rather keep the gaze down and draw the elbows in and lift the navel up and lengthen through the legs. And then let that go. This time, you're going to reach the hands behind you. Palms are going to face each other. So you're going to start by lifting the torso and the shoulders. Now lift the legs. Couple breaths here. One more breath. You got this. And then lower everything down to the floor, resting on one cheek, rocking the hips from side to side. Last variation. You're going to clasp your hands together behind your back. Let's start by simply placing our knuckles on our sacrum and then lowering the elbows down towards the floor. So here you're rounding the upper back and you're breathing into the upper thoracic spine. And then draw the elbows in towards each other, finding a little bit of a back bend. And then lower the elbows back down. And then last time, draw the elbows in towards each other. As you extend the arms to reach back towards the toes, lift the torso, then lift the legs. Couple breaths in full maximum extension. Last breath, release the palms and continue reaching the fingers back towards the legs, getting maximum length. So really lengthening out of the hip socket to the toes, reaching the fingers. Last breath here, and then let it all go. Rock the hips from side to side. Line your elbows underneath your shoulders. So we come now into Sphinx pose. And we draw the navel in and up and we round the spine and lift the hips up just an inch and then release. 2 times like that, round and lift and draw the navel in and release. Last time, inhale up and squeeze and then release. Nice work. You're gonna place the right arm at an angle as you bend the left knee, reaching back for the foot, the shin, the calf, whatever's accessible. Here's where your strap comes in handy. If you can't reach the foot, you can loop the foot and use the strap, and then just pull the heel in towards the hips for a couple breaths, stretching the front of the thigh. One more breath. And now reverse the direction, flex the foot, and push the foot behind you and pull the arm into the foot. So there's this relationship happening between the foot and the hand. The hand is pushing, the foot is pulling, and then let that go. Come all the way down and Wiggle, waggle the hips for a breath or two. And then come back to Sphinx. Left arm's gonna be at an angle. This helps access the pose a little bit. And then bend the right knee, grab a hold of whatever you can. Use your strap or prop if it's helpful. And for the first few breaths, you just pull the heel down towards the hip. One more breath in this shape. And now flex the foot and push the foot behind you as you pull the hand. So here's this relationship with the push and pull. The hand pulls towards the hip, the foot pushes away. So it's active release stretching. And then let that go. Resting back down on your belly, wagging your hips from side to side. Nice work, you guys. And then crawl yourself up. So press your palms and tuck your hips back towards your heels. And let's find child's pose for a few breaths. And crawl yourself up. And come to a comfortable seated position. And let's roll our shoulders forward, around, and down. Forward, around, and down. One more time. And then reverse the direction. So nice. And a little cat and cow. And now we sit for a moment. And we breathe, a little pranayama. So we're going to do a 5 count inhalation and a 6 count exhalation. Here we go. Inhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, hold to the top. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, emptying at the bottom. Inhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, hold at the top. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, empty at the bottom. Inhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, hold at the top. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last cycle. Inhaling 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold at the top. Exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Take a couple cycles of breath, just normal cycles of breath now. Not controlling the breath, but just streaming the breath deep and long in, filling up the lungs and the whole internal cavity. And then exhaling deeply. A few more rounds of breath to quiet the mind, to get us back into our bodies in the present moment, in the here and the now, the breath. One more cycle. So nice. We inhale the right arm up, grab a hold of the left ear, and then just gently release the right ear down to the right shoulder. Let that shoulder go down to the right shoulder. Don't let it hike up to the ear, like release it down. Get a nice stretch along the left side of the neck. And then switch sides. And then come back to center, and let's just head and neck roll in one direction. Full head, neck roll, one direction. And then stopping at the center and full head, neck roll the opposite direction. And coming to center. Let's come onto our backs, onto the floor. And draw the knees into the chest. And just take a couple breaths like this. And then release the feet and separate the feet hip distance. So the knees bent and the feet are separated hip distance. And let's bridge. So you're going to inhale, lift the hips and come into your version of bridge. Five breaths. And when you're ready, lowering all the way back down to the floor and straightening the legs to release the lower back. And one more time, bridge. Any variation of bridge, you can also clasp a hold of the outer edges of your mat as you come up to bridge, and that'll help open up the shoulder girdle. Two more breaths. Press the heels down to lift the hips just a little bit higher. And then release. And then line up the pinky toes with the outer edges of your mat and draw your arms wide out to the side like a T. And let's just drop both knees to the left. And then come up and drop both knees to the right. And come back to the center and drop both knees in towards each other. And then bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall wide open. And then bring both knees back into the chest. Let's twist. So bring your right arm out to the side like a T, and then drop both knees over to the left. And take a twist here. Close your eyes. Then you're going to straighten the top leg and flex and push and bend. And straighten and flex and push and bend. One more set. And then come back to center and switch to the other side. And let's do that variation. Straighten the left leg and flex and push, and then bend. So 2 times like that, straightening and pushing and flexing. One more time. Push and flex, and come back to center. Let's find happy baby. And then draw the knees back into the chest. And draw your nose to your knees, squeezing the internal organs, wringing them out. And then coming into Shavasana. So set yourself up here. This is where a nice pillow comes in handy for your head. Let's take the next couple minutes resting our whole body in Shavasana. So close your eyes, maybe wiggle, waggle from side to side, settling into stillness. And then slowly coming back into the body by making circular movements with your fingers and your toes and your ankles. As you reach your arms overhead for a full body stretch. So stretch here from fingertip to tippy toe out of the lower back, kind of wiggling forward and back, side to side. And then draw your knees back into your chest and rock yourself up to a comfortable seated position with your eyes closed. So let's just take a moment here, like a minute or two in seated meditation. Right, so just stack your bones, line the crown of your head up with your tailbone and your shoulders over your hips, and any position with your hands, it doesn't matter. They can be down, they can be up, they can be by your side, they can be at your heart, whichever position you're able to maintain for the next 2 minutes as we watch our breath come in and we see our breath go out with the eyes closed. We take this next 2 minutes to meditate, to calm and quiet our brain, since we are perfectly poised right after Shavasana. Few more cycles of breath, just noticing any tension melting away. The breath keeping the mind calm and centered. Notice the sense of ease and tranquility after breath practice. And then let's bring our hands together at our hearts and seal our practice this morning by bowing our heads in deep gratitude. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace in our homes. May there be peace in the world. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me on this lovely Sunday. I'm going to unmute you all so we can all say goodbye.